Alright, perfect, there we go. Uh, um, well, yesterday we were playing, and I was thinking about the length of the game. You know, it's expected, or so it says in the guide in PSN profile, in PSN, that you might need 110 hours to get the platinum. So I thought about it, and that's a pretty long game. Do I really want to play the game twice? Because for me, I want to avoid spoilers, so I want to play the game once without any guide and anything, and if there's any missables, I'll do a second playthrough and I'll get them all there. So for example, it is what I'm doing with Yakuza 0. There's some missables, and those missables are in the story. You have to do specific things in the story. So if you look those missables, you look how you get them, what you have to do to get them. It's basically a spoiler of the story. We started chapter 3, we completed chapter 3 and started chapter 4. There was a missable trophy in chapter 3, and we didn't get it. But if we saw what kind of achievement it was before getting to chapter 3, we would have been spoiled that we would play with Majima, a new character we didn't know anything about. So I usually try to avoid those things. But here, technically, from what I've seen, they are not really spoilers. Most of them, you just have to be careful when you reach a specific part. For example, there's a missable trophy, which is a big side quest, which takes place in Skellig. So, we just have to be careful when we get there that we do everything, but there's not really a lot of spoilers. And something else that we have to pay attention to throughout the whole game is the card collector trophy. We have to play Gwent, which is like the card game in this game. We have to get every single card, and some of them stop being available after some things, which makes the trophy missable. And I was planning to do it in the second playthrough, but if the normal game takes like 80 hours to complete, even if the second playthrough was on easy difficulty, it would still take me like, 30-40 hours? Yeah, I don't want to spend 30 or 40 hours in a game I've already completed. So, because the guides don't really have spoilers, even if it might be a little annoying, being controlled by a guide, to decide what step I have to take next. Shouldn't be a problem, because besides the card collector, which it's basically, okay, we reached a specific part of the map, let's get every single card, and that's it. Most of them don't really have an order, or you have to exactly do this, because if you don't do this in this exact order, you have to do the 20 side quests of this area, you have to do them in this specific order. They are not really that exact, it's not like with Moonscars. With Moonscars, the third playthrough was basically, I was just reading the guide and doing exactly what it said, because you had to get this item before getting this other item. You had to make sure that you spoke to this NPC in this specific part, because otherwise its side quest wouldn't be available. Because if you didn't spoke to him here, and then you gave this other item to this other person, for whatever reason, it would lock the trophy and you wouldn't be able to get it. It's not that difficult here, it's not that complete. It's just, you have to do a specific side quest, you unlock it, and basically the good thing about this is, for example, one of the trophies is for romancing a specific character and taking her to Kaer Morhen. And from what I see, okay, and how do I do it? It basically says you unlock a mission after completing this specific mission, and it gives you the name. It doesn't give you any details, so no spoilers, just gives you the name. So the only thing we have to do is just play the game and be careful because in this area, whatever, let's Novigrad or whatever it is, I didn't see, but in this specific area there will be a moment where we will get a mission, a quest, a main quest with this name. And after we complete it, we have to be careful, we have to remember, well, I have the guide here, so even if we don't remember, it's okay, that we can do the side quest for this character. So, in hopes of saving 30 or 40 hours of my time, I'm going to try and do just one playthrough. Because, yeah, there shouldn't be much spoilers. For example, here, I know I have to do something here in the castle of Pisima, which is easily missable, you know, but there's no spoiler, you know. Basically what the guide tells you is before leaving the castle, there will be a moment where you'll leave the castle. Obviously, you won't spend the whole game here. That's obvious. It doesn't tell you if the king is good with you or hates you. It doesn't tell you what mission he gives you or whatever. It just tells you, before leaving the castle, when you have to or want to, you have to play a game of Gwent against this specific nobleman, or otherwise you won't be able to get this card and the trophy is already lost. The good thing is, I've played for like, what, 3, 4, yeah, probably 4 hours and a half, maybe even 5. So it would be a shame if I had to start again from the beginning, but I don't have to. Because in the first area, there weren't any missable trophies from side quests. The Gwent cards that I should have got there, I can still get them. Because, for example, if you remember, if you watch the other streamings or the videos on YouTube, we rejected a game of Gwent against a scholar that was in the tavern, or in the inn. If you won the game, he would have given you a card. But, if you miss it, you can, I've seen in the guide, you can find that card in a specific part of the map later. So it's not a problem. And the other person who would give you cards is the owner of the inn. But since we basically killed like 5 or 6 guys there, she doesn't want to sell them anymore. But the merchant that we saved from the Griffin can sell them instead. So we don't have to go back, we don't have to start again, which is fantastic. So now that everything is explained, let's keep going. I think I have to speak with Emir's Chamberlain.
This might come as news to the gentleman, but a towel wrapped around one's waist is not fitting attire for an audience. The gentleman will kindly dress.
Oh, true, yeah, I had to choose an outfit. I think I like this one best. Yeah, take all. In a way, so I have to equip them, right? Wait, they don't have a lot of armor, but yeah, I look good, man. Can I loot everything else? I can. I mean, I'll take it. Maybe I can sell them in the future.
Black suits the gentleman. Does the outfit satisfy the gentleman?
A studded doublet and a sword on my back, that's what would satisfy me. But tough, when in Nilfgaard.
Yes.
It's a saying. So what now? Powder my nose?
No need. The gentleman's complexion is light enough. The gentleman is to stand before the ruler of the North and South. I must confirm that he knows how to bow.
I don't think he wants to bow against the king, but
I'm not some boor. I know how to bow.
Please, demonstrate. That
nice try.
how you might bow to a whore on a street corner, not to the Emperor of Nilfgaard. Please watch.
I'm starting to like this guy.
Leg
I don't hate
extended,
him anymore.
Hand flat, head down, chin to chest. The gentleman will
Man, you look
reverse.
stupid. What? What was it? I think it was this one. No, not hands at the side. I think it was this one.
Lacking fluidity and grace. But we've learned to expect less of Nordlings. Come with me.
Man, this guy is arrogant. I could just kill him if I wanted to.
The gentleman will address the Emperor only when asked to, and using the appropriate title.
Your arch magnificency?
I see the gentleman is in the mood for jests. I fear the Emperor might not share his disposition. Your Majesty will suffice. Spoken loudly, clearly, and with respect. Imgrimi et art ketzer. Daifen aden in karn eb marvut. Emir var emreis.
Bow.
I shouldn't have.
Your Imperial Majesty.
Arer et do orde.
Rebellion namen, Vatkan favor. I thought you bowed before no man.
Didn't want to disappoint.
I might... Do I load the game and not bow? Nah, it's okay. I don't wanna
Chamberlain,
play it again.
we're friends.
We are. But I shouldn't have bowed.
Take
It's not what
so
Geralt
to
would do.
reminisce about the good old days. So,
Silence. My daughter Cirilla, she's returned. And she's in danger. The Wild Hunt pursues her. You will find her and bring her to me.
are you sure? Ciri left. Went far, far away.
Do you believe I drag you here in the middle of a war to discuss a rumor?
I think anyone can be wrong, even an emperor.
I had forgotten how insolent you can be. I haven't the time to convince you, nor the desire, in fact. Yennefer will do that after the audience.
How many men in your army? 20,000? 30? So why me?
You know why. Because she trusts you.
She trusts me, yes. So tell me why you're looking for her. Doubt it's about making up for all those lost years.
For reasons of state, as always. Enough of this banter. You will agree regardless. If for no other reason than because I shall pay you. More than you customarily receive for a contract. Considerably more.
Save your generosity for those whose homes your armies have razed. I'll do it for Ciri, not for your gold.
Your motives do not interest me. Only results. Yennefer will tell you the rest. This audience is finished. Mererid! Take him to the sorceress.
Follow me, if the gentleman pleases. Please keep close. There are many honorable guests in the palace, whom the gentleman
Disgusts.
need not bother.
Gonna save the game just in case. Because we might miss things. I wanna make as many saves as I can, so... You know, if we miss something, we can just go back 5 minutes and not 2 hours. And get it. I like these armors. I would like to have one of them. Maybe it would limit my movement, but
and it's past noon.
Calm yourself.
What? Do you know who you're talking to, soldier?
Guess
I'm
what?
Heribert the Second, Prince of
Sinets
Elander.
var u Novigrad?
Only am I made to
Ja.
wait here like some
Ah, nee.
son of a-
Raadsliden nekt estun is
Is de
saur
deel
aan
van
nee.
deel. Katta af. Kne gleizen. En wat gaan bakken.
One false move and you will regret it.
Once the gentleman is done, he should see me to retrieve his possessions.
Have to go to talk to Yennefer, right?
Yes? Then transcribe. The true authority in Novigrad is not the city council or the merchants' guild, but the Church of the Eternal Fire and the criminal underworld. At times it is difficult to tell the one from the other. They both display a similar ruthlessness and cynicism that...
Please wait, Your Excellency. I'm falling behind.
You know what? I'll write the report myself. You'll need only prepare a clean draft. In triplicate.
There she is.
Geralt, that tunic. You look positively smashing.
Dying to take it off.
I'd consider that a proposition under different circumstances. One I might even take you up on. But we've matters to attend to. Now do you understand why I'm at Emir's court?
And seems we're in the same boat now. Ciri, she's really back? No chance he's mistaken?
Look, that's more or less what she looks like now. Or so our agents claim. Our little witch has grown into a young lady.
Well, this definitely takes place a long time after the end of the show. Well, not the end, the cancellation, because it technically wasn't finished. So, yeah, I should probably read the books to know what happened in between. But yeah. So there are our agents now. What do you mean?
How about that? She's grown up?
It's been years since you trained together at Kaer Morhen. A great deal has changed.
You haven't. Not a bit.
I missed those awkward compliments of yours. But let's focus on Ciri, all right?
Right. Emir said the Wild Hunt's after her. I'd find that hard to believe before what happened yesterday. How did they track us down?
Because of me. You see, I've spent months searching for Ciri, using locating spells, haruspicy, geomancy, anything, really. I knew the Wild Hunt might sense it, perhaps even find me. I thought I'd tricked them.
Well, guess you were wrong.
I've sensed them on my trail, hunting me, for some time. If not for you and Emir's soldiers, they'd have gotten what they were after. I can't risk another encounter like that. It's time to put away the magic, turn to more traditional methods. To the best tracker I know. You must find her, Geralt. Before the Wild Hunt does.
The Wild Hunt? What could it want from Ciri?
I've no clue, Geralt. Might have written them to ask, but I don't have their address. I know as much as you do. It must be about her blood. Her gift. As for what the Hunt wishes to do with that gift, I prefer not to think about it, really.
Whenever there's a different dialogue options and there's a yellow one and a light one and a blight, what? And a white one, we choose the white one because we want to learn everything we can about the lore, about the world. Well, maybe not you, but I do, and I'm playing, so, you know. So yeah, if we have different choices and there's a yellow one, that's the last one we'll choose. Like now.
So where's Ciri been seen exactly?
In two places, Velen and Novigrad. The trail in Velen is most promising. You should make that your first stop. Ask for a merchant named Hendrik at the inn at the crossroads. One of the Emperor's agents. He should get in touch with you.
That's it? No passwords, secret handshakes?
None. Sorry to spoil your fun. Your boyhood fantasies about the crafts of the trade. All we have in Novigrad are unconfirmed reports, rumors. But there you will have the help of our mutual acquaintance. Triss Merigold.
Oh.
Apparently she's got a cozy flat on the main square.
Sure she'll be delighted to see me. What about you? What will you do?
I shall sail for Skellige. There was a magic explosion there recently. It blew half a forest down. I believe this had something to do with Ciri. I'll be in Caer Trolde. Join me there once you've learned something.
Ooh, I want drama. Come on.
One thing before we go. Why didn't you contact me? Didn't need me? Didn't even want to see me?
I didn't want to spoil things. I'd heard you and Triss made a great couple.
Yen, I'd lost my memory.
Really? That's your excuse? Let's drop it, all right? It's not what you think, or it helped me understand how much I love you. I don't wish to hear it. Any of it.
Okay, I didn't know that. So things happened when Geralt lost his memories.
Guess this means we need to split up again. Not my preference, but I understand. Clock's ticking.
It is indeed. So why don't I teleport you to Velen, get you there at once?
Not gonna happen. I'll go on horseback, as soon as I can get changed.
Have it your way? Oh, and you really look quite dashing in black velvet.
Think so? Maybe I can have some of my armor lined with it. Good luck, Yen.
Same to you. And if you wish to learn what's happened in the world while you and Vesemir roamed the wilderness, talk to Ambassador Varatra. That's him over there. And Geralt, I know it's wartime, but try not to be a hero, all right? Just check those leads and come back to me, in one piece. I shall be waiting.
I can't be serious when someone says One Piece in a video game or show. It doesn't matter. An image of Luffy just appears in my head. Okay, entry updated. Well, it's not here definitely. Oh yeah, characters. Ooh, new ones. Okay, let me move the camera. Because until now I always had it here, and then when there was a cinematic I moved it there. But I feel like it doesn't, like, over there, it doesn't, you don't miss anything, you know? So, that way I don't have to move it every 35 seconds of gameplay. Okay. Emhyr Bar Embrace. Few names in the continent's history arouse as much terror and respect as that of Emhyr Bar Embrace. Daithwen Aden, Imkab Irkan Ab Morbud, the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes. Emperor of Nilfgaard, Lord of Metinna, Edding, and Gemera, sobering of Nasair and Vicoraro. He was ruler of half the civilized world and aspiring conqueror of the other half. He was a personage whose deeds and decisions shaped the fates of whole kingdoms and populations. What then could he possibly want of a simple witcher? The Emperor clearly and succinctly laid out what he wanted. His daughter and Geralt's ward, Cirilla, was in great danger, for the Wild Hand was on her trail. Geralt, a superb tracker linked to Emhyr's daughter by the iron bonds of destiny, stood a better chance of finding her than anyone else in the world. Hendrik? Who is this? Considering the way spy corps of all stripes tend to function, Hendrik was undoubtedly not this man's real name. Nevertheless, that was the only appellation the Witcher knew for his Imperial Majesty nose to the ground in Velen. After asking around, Geralt learned that Hendrik lived in the village of Heatherton, Okay, maybe this is the guy we have to go talk to now to get a lead. So, what to do there in not Novigrad? What's the other one? Morbrand Burhis. Morbrand Burhis, commander of the Alva Division, an officer of the highest rank and a pure-blooded aristocrat. One who with pride could call himself a Nilfgaardian, a designation reserved only for native-born inhabitants of the Empire's capital and its immediate surroundings. At the time of their first meeting, Geralt had no idea what an important person had been assigned to the task of asking him a few routine questions. Knowing the Witcher, however, knowledge of the Morbrand's rank and status would not have made much of a difference. Triss Merigold. I always considered it a point of particular pride to count Triss Merigold of Maribor among my closest and dearest friends. This exceptionally talented sorceress was a shining star of her profession, the former mage advisor to King Foltest, and the famous hero of the Battle of Sodden, known as the 14th of the Hill. Yet in no way did she resemble her often invariably haughty sisters in magic. Her deft mind, warm smile, and considerable personal charm had always won over even the hardest of hearts. Though my personal relations with Triss never ventured beyond the fraternal, Geralt of Rivia at one point found her allure irresistible. From then on, the two shared feelings that ran far deeper than a superficial and fleeting fancy. Yennefer told Geralt that Triss had recently taken up residence in the free city of Novigrad. Why doesn't it... Okay. Good, and Cirilla was updated, right? Following age-old Witcher traditions... No, that's... Yeah, Yennefer made it clear why the Wild Hand wanted Ciri. Everything wanted the power latent in her elder blood. She also let Geralt know that Ciri had been seen in war-ravaged Belin, as well as in Novigrad, the largest city in the world. Yeah, well, let me see. Following age-old Witcher tradition, Geralt took Ciri to Kaer Morhen, where she came into his care. There, he and Vesemir taught her in the ways of the professional monster slayer. It was then that her magic talents were first revealed, and they discovered she was a sorceress. Ciri's gift proved a curse as well. Because of it, she would one day have to hide from the entire world, even Geralt. Ciri's biography contained one more great secret. Her natural father was none other than the Emperor of Nilfgaard, Emhyr Bar Emreis. His words confirmed the fears swelling in Geralt's mind. Ciri had returned and was in mortal danger, for the unrelenting Wild Hand was on her trail. Okay. That should be okay. Now we have to get out of the castle, but first we have to... Okay, we have to... Well, we don't have to, but... Oh yeah, we have to get the card here, and we should talk to the ambassador, because Yennefer told me he would tell me lore about the game. Oh, wait. Yeah, the camera will belong...
Yennefer suggested I ask you about current events, the war and so on.
Of course. The Emperor's servants should keep no secrets from each other. If you will, let us approach the map.
I don't think servant is a good name. It's a contract, it's not a servitude, you know. Okay, yeah, I want to know everything. How's the war going?
How's the war going? I mean, apart from the fact that Nilfgaard's triumph is imminent.
I assume this to be a private conversation. We've no witnesses, so let's dispense with the propaganda, even that shrouded in irony. Our offensive was going splendidly until winter came. Aedirn was in such disarray that we encountered no resistance. We had reached the Pontar before the first snows. Only a weakened Kedwin remained. and Radovid's Redania, which had ignored the rest of the North's pleas for help. We thought they'd sue for peace, perhaps even submit to vassalization. We waited for spring, certain of victory.
Radovid? Submit?
Yes, a vain hope, I agree. Radovid sent no peace envoy, nor did he advance on our positions. Instead, he trudged over the snow-bound Kestrel Mountains and attacked Kedwen, his ally. This attack took the Kedweni by surprise. They were still mourning the loss of their king. Rudderless and dejected, they laid down their arms after a few lost skirmishes and joined Radovid. And so by spring, instead of 2 weak enemies, we had only one powerful one.
What about Kovir?
Kovir values its neutrality, enough not to lend its armies, or more importantly, even its coin to either side. Returning to the war, this spring there was a massive battle in the marshes of Velen. Massive, yet indecisive. Both sides suffered enormous losses, unprecedented even. Radovid has retreated across the Pontar. He's safe for now, until reinforcements arrive from the south. Then Emperor Emir var Emrys will deal with him once and for all.
Couldn't you just go home? Save everyone a lot of marching, not to mention a few human lives.
I'm afraid the stakes are too high to fold now. We can only go all in.
How do things look in Velen?
As bad as ever, perhaps worse. This land never flowed with milk and honey, and now it flows with blood. Armies have swept through it several times, trampling fields, looting granaries, burning villages. Famine grips the populace.
So how's ruling that earthly paradise going for you?
Not well, to be honest. Our forces are spread thin as it is, and Velen is chiefly swampy forests that are difficult to control. We've had several patrols never return to their camps. Thus, we've temporarily delegated authority in this region to a certain Nordling, a former low-ranking officer in the Temerian army, one Philip Strenger, better known by his nom de guerre, the Bloody Baron. I advise you well. Avoid him.
Any news from Novigrad? Is the Free City still free?
Yes, although everyone knows this won't last. Radovid is in Oxenfurt, and the Emperor is here in Vizima, at Novigrad's doorstep, both. And both require coin and ships. Novigrad can provide these. Which is why the mood in the city is rather, well, on edge.
Meaning?
How do men deal with fear? They seek reassurance and scapegoats. The Church of the Eternal Fire understands this perfectly, and so it promises to improve the lives of its flock by pointing out the guilty. Who started the war? Who profits from it? Why, it's obvious. Mages, elves, dwarves, in a word, any and all deviants. I've been stationed in Novigrad for 13 years. First as a consul, then as ambassador. I've seen a great deal. Cruelty, cynicism, greed. But what is happening there now concerns me greatly.
And what about Skellige?
What's new in Skellige?
Or Skellige?
Nothing. The islanders pride themselves on that, don't they? Doing everything according to tradition, as their forefathers did. And like their forefathers, they quarrel with each other. Pillage. Occasionally attack our transports. This is cumbersome, but nothing more. Skellige has always been a footnote to history, and so it shall remain.
Sound awfully confident. What if King Bran manages to unite the Jarls? Lead all the clans against your fleet?
King Bran is a feeble old man. From what I know, he barely remembers the names of his own vassals. Uniting all might prove difficult.
Well, that should be it. Thanks for your help, man.
Thanks for your help.
Think nothing of it. May the great sun light your path.
I probably won't remember anything by tomorrow. Oh, sorry. My fault. Sorry. Okay. Okay, can I loot this without you noticing? Okay, what is this? Letter found in Jennifer's chest. My dear friend, if you're reading this, it means you found the chest I mentioned in my previous letter. Oh, so I should have taken this. After I spoke with the Emperor regarding additional resources to aid your quest, he was willing to part with these items from his personal collection. Ah, so I needed them. Thought I was really smart here, you know, I got something most people don't even realize. No, I should have got this. Although he was sternly cryptic regarding their origins, he did mention they were diplomatic gifts from distant kingdoms. The tiger armor is specially designed to suit a Western ruler, obviously Emir in this case. It was forged in the ancient style of a blacksmith who stole the secrets of its construction from their gods. Or so the legend goes. The sword, to my eye, resembled a Redanian saber, though I'm no expert. This blade supposedly once belonged to a hero of myth and mystery. The man forged a pact with a Bixen spirit, and through her blessing was granted the ability to slay the monster that had long plagued his village. As you'll notice, he carried both a steel and a silver sword, a fact I thought might pique your interest. Unfortunately, legends are all I can offer. As I said, Emir was stingy with the details, even more so than usual. It's a shame because, I must admit, I haven't the faintest idea where they might originate. That being said, I do believe Serikania and Dofir can safely be ruled out. Dear friend, I trust you will appreciate my efforts to help. Use these gifts as you see fit. I hope they will hasten your search for that which we have lost. Your friend, Jennifer. And a letter with Jennifer's instructions. My dear friend, I had a feeling we wouldn't have a chance to talk before Bissima, so I leave you this message. I know there's much we both wish to say, but there will come a time for that later. In any case, a letter is no place to broach topics of such importance to us both. So, while I write you now, you have something waiting for you at the Royal Palace in Bissima. Consider it a gift from Emir and myself. You can pick it up at your leisure after your audience with him. When you exit the throne room, simply follow the covered walkway in the courtyard, turning right at the corner, then take the first door to your left. On your left, you'll be inside a chamber with a fireplace. Take the door in the back right to the adjoining room. There, under the window, you'll find the chest with your gift. But in case these directions prove too complicated for you, I'm certain the Chamberlain would not hesitate to lead you there himself. Expert tracker that you are. However, I expect you'll manage. Your friend, Jennifer. Okay. I assume this is the chest she talked about in the second letter, so shouldn't be a problem. Anything else I can loot here? Oh, it's locked, okay. She who knows. Folk say they were four at first. The mother, she who knows, the Lady of the Wood, came here from a far-away land, and since she suffered terribly from loneliness, she made 3 daughters out of dirt and water. A long time ago, the mother was sole ruler of all of Belen. Her daughters brought her the people's request and served as her boys. Each spring, sacrifices of grain, animals, and men were made to the Lady of the Wood on her special night. Yet as the years passed, the Lady of the Wood slipped deeper and deeper into madness. Her madness eventually spread over the land. Men took to abandoning their homes and setting out into the bog, where they became food for beasts. Before long, Belen was drowning in blood. The daughters saw their land nearing destruction and took it upon themselves to save it. When spring came once more and with it the night of sacrifices. They killed their mother and buried her in the bog. Her blood watered the oak atop art serving, and from then on the tree grew wholesome and hearty fruit for the people. As for the lady's immortal soul, it refused to leave its beloved land, and so the sisters imprisoned it. To this day it lies trapped beneath the whispering hillock, where it stresses about in powerless rage. We might be able to fight She Who Knows. Okay, I didn't know we could find books in bookshelves, so I'm definitely going to loot them, yeah. Royal Lineages of the North. Cyrilla Fiona Ellen Rhiannon, born in 1251, heiress to the throne of Sintra, Princess of Brugge and Duchess of Sodden, heiress to Innis Ard Skellig and Innis and Skellig and suzerain of Atre and Abyara, daughter of Pabetta, see Pabetta Fiona Ellen, and the Urkion of Ellenwald, see Emir Ban Embrace, granddaughter of the famous Lioness of Sintra, Queen Calanthe, see Calanthe Fiona Rhiannon. A shipwreck occurred during a journey from Sintra to Skellige, which took the lives of the Urkion and Pavetta. Cyrilla's further upbringing was then entrusted to her grandmother. In 1260, afraid of the looming Nilfgaardian threat, Queen Calanthe sent Cyrilla to the court of King Ervil, see Ervil of Berden, where they are with the heiress. Come on. Okay, man. Goodbye, man. Yeah, where the heiress of Sintra was to marry the heir to the throne of Berlin, Prince Christine. See Gistrine of Berden. Though allying with Berden and gaining the aid of that realm's army was at the time Calanthe's top priority, no marriage ever occurred, and Cyrilla returned to her grandmother's court. In 1262, during the so-called Sintra massacre, Cyrilla went missing. Any other book? Yeah, okay. This might be annoying for some people, who don't really care about the lore, but I really want to learn this, so I'm sorry, you can just skip the video, skip a minute or so, it's alright. The Wild Hand, from farmers and herdsmen, milkmaids to midwives. All the common folk of the continent whisper, sharing tales of a wraithly procession pounding across the sky. The Wild Hand, they call it. Winds and gales, storms and blizzards rise when it is sighted, and all grows cold, though the sun shone bright moments before. Some remember only the cold from the shock of the encounter, and claim the riders come always in winter. But nay, this is not so. The hand brings its own eyes. Death and war gallop in its wake, or so the superstition goes. Yet evil enough is the hand itself. It takes folk captive, youths most often, and in the prime of their wilding years, with 10 to 20 summers behind them. The hand rushes in and they disappear, only to return long years later with no memory of what passed in the time between. A sword for witches. Who are the hunters, you ask? Folk like you and yours, I reply. The decent kind, haters of lies, doers of good. The kind who live according to the gods' laws, and nature's laws too. Those disgusted by the machinations of witches, magiciers, and non-humans. All that separates us from common folk is that we have the courage to take up arms, to defend our lands from evil, to slice out the gangrene that eats us from within. We haven't a leader. We haven't fought or land. Though God's fearing Radovid supports us with his gold at times, we've not sworn him nor any other ruler any oath. We serve only the eternal fire, and we listen only to our own conscience. Who can join us? Any who is right of soul and sound of body. You can find us in every largest city of the north. We will give you board, lodging, and a weapon. We will explain how to spot the telltale signs of evil, birthmarks in strange and arcane shapes, smooth keen on a matron aged more than 30 springs, and black cats kept in the yard, to name but a few. We will show you how to defend yourself from witchcraft, how to tame and snuff out magic elements with Dimeritium. We will instruct you how to squeeze the sinner's darkest secrets out of them with a hot iron, and how to grant them cleansing death with the help of sacred fire. Rusty bread knife. Ooh, I want to use this as my personal weapon. The collected verse of Gonçal de Berceo, maybe. Love. To love is to build a house of cards, or play a game of chess. But one wrong word or ill-thought move, and you must start it all afresh. Tide. Whenever I watch the tide recede, cold coils of fear creep round my heart. Will the seas sneak back, calm and sure, in the dark of night as they have before? Or will they stay on distant shores, leaving crushed shells, washed up dreams, as a memory of serfs of yore? Maybe too many books for just at once. You could just give them little by little. But it's okay. The last wish. Human life requires 3 things for its sustenance: food, drink, and gossip. It is thus no wonder that no matter where I travel, be it icebound pubbies or evergreen to saint, everyone asks me about the passions that bind Geralt and the sorceress Jennifer of Bengerberg. maybe Dandelion wrote this. Maybe Jaskier wrote this. As a man both cautious and discreet, I refuse to betray their secrets. With one important exception, the history of their first encounter is so extraordinary. The history of their first encounter is so extraordinary, so romantic and moving, that it would be a veritable crime to hide its light beneath a bushel basket. Indeed, had I not witnessed these events in person, I would never believe there was room in our grim and dark world for such fantastic marvels. Oh, this is a long one. It all began when Geralt and I were feeling a bit peckish and, unburdened by heavy coin purchase, decided to fish our supper out of a lake. No bites were to be had, but we did not leave empty-handed. My hook snagged quite a lovely little pot. Oblivious to my friend's warnings, I opened it, and in doing so, freed a powerful djinn. Without giving it much thought, I set about proclaiming my wishes. Before I could get to 3, however, the djinn, irritated, I see now in hindsight, at being issued demands so soon after waking, began to throttle me. Geralt was able to drive him off, but I was left in a sorry state. I acted, the Witcher told me later, as though under the influence of some curse. Clearly, the help of an expert in the magic arcana would be needed. It was our good fortune that Jennifer of Bengerberg happened to be staying in a nearby village. Geralt went to her to ask that she heal his best friend, who happened also to be the brightest star in the North's poetic firmament. Jennifer, however, was more interested in the gene, which she wanted to trap into magic servitude, than in its victim, and, it should be said, played the Witcher like a well-strung mandolin. Yet rather than grow angry at being used in such a calculating manner, he fell white-head over her muddy boots in love with her. What happened then? Well, I won't go into details. Suffice to say that Jennifer's plans hardly delighted the gene, and without its cooperation she proved unable to tame it. The sorceress would surely have met a tragic end, and taking all of Rinde along with her, had Gerald not rushed to her rescue. For once he did not need to draw either of his blades. To send the gene packing, he had but to pronounce the third and final wish. He could have asked for anything, wealth, fame, power, but instead he asked the gene to bind his fate to that of the arrogant yet intriguing sorceress from Bengerberg, Julian Alfred Pankratz, Viscount of Lettenhop, born 1232, award-winning poet, playwright and troubadour, frequent performer at the courts of Niedemir, Bisimir, Venslav, and many other novels and notables, alumnus of Oxenfurt Academy. Ooh, that's nice. And it's not a book. This is a book. Isn't it what I've already read this one, right? Yeah, so do I have two of these books? Yeah, I've read this one. I've read this one, yeah. They don't look like I've read them, but I have. Okay, yeah. It doesn't say it's like duplicate, but I already had this one. I mean, I just read it, so you know, I think I would remember if I didn't read it. Empty bottle, and alright. Okay, perfect. Any more books here? Well, yeah, a portrayal of the elder races. What is a non-human? The answer is simple. As the very name suggests, it is something which resembles, and yet nevertheless is not, a human. A human. Though it walks on two legs, speaks a tongue similar to our own, and dresses in similar attire, it all the same has more in common with base bits than noblemen. Dwarves are like moles. They feel best underground and avoid direct sunlight. They like to live in filth, forever smudging themselves in mud and slime. They love everything that can be found within the earth. Rocks, metal, minerals of all shape and color. It is also said that, like the kindred moles, they feed most readily on worms, roaches, and northern night crawlers. Halflings, for their part, are more reminiscent of gophers. I don't know what a gopher is. Gopher. Oh, okay. Do they really look like gophers? Nah, I mean, I understand it's probably just an insult, you know? Feeling of superiority because I'm human and you're not. Fat, lazy and loud in that typical rodent way. Their minds are filled only with thoughts of food and drink, which they steal from other, nobler beasts, and greedily squirrel away in their hovels. They are marked by a cruel craftiness. You could be dying of hunger, and they would not share a meal with you. You could be howling from poverty, and they could be swimming in gold, and yet they would still fleece you to the last crown. You could do nothing but good to them, and they would still stab a knife in your back. Elves, in turn, seem related to the birds of prey that dwell in far-off Serricania. They care most for colored feathers. They would most readily spend all day staring at their reflections in the water and singing their own praises. They are so awash in self-love that they no longer feel any desire towards members of the opposite sex of their own species. Their appearance, unquestionably pleasant to the eye, is highly misleading, for they are extraordinarily cruel, and any who judge them by looks alone, they first dupe and then kill in cold blood. The best proof of this, the so-called Scoia'tael, bandits that claim to fight for freedom, but in truth only long to kill humans. All these vile, so-called elder races are, to our great fortune, slowly dying out. Joy fills the heart of every right-thinking man, and the thought that his great-grandchildren will never know them. That in their day dwarves, halflings, and elves will be mere fairy tale characters used to scare young, impressionable children. Well, that's not a great opinion about those races, but alright, man. Anything else I can find here? What is this? Oh, I can't punch it. Doesn't seem fair. Can I read this book? Apparently not. What about this one? No, but I can loot this. Has to be something here. What about this? What is this? I don't know. It probably contains water or wine, maybe. Royal Lineages of the North. I have read this. Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense they have more than one copy of the same book. You know, it's not like they just write one and they don't write anymore, you know. But it's kind of weird that they have both in the same library, you know. But anyways, what shall become of Temeria? Temeria, a land where milk and honey once flowed. In what did she wrong the gods that they should treat her so cruelly? The Pearl of the North to some, she proved a galloping range for Nilfgaardian cavalry to others. Secondly, it had survived 2 previous wars against the Empire. It was here that the war's bloodiest battles were fought. Yeah. It was in Temeria where the most bestial deeds were wrought. It was Temerian civilians who bore the full brunt of this war's horrors, and bear them we did, bravely and steadfastly, until the demise of our great protector, King Foltest. Then Providence turned its fickle face from Temeria, murdered most treacherously. Foltest failed to leave Temeria a worthy successor? Maybe. And so all manner of cur soon fell upon her, tearing her apart like so much carrion. She had no more aliens then. Aliens, of course she had no aliens. She had no more allies then. None remembered that we had once been the armor protecting the North from the designs of the mad dancer, he who had the gravestones of his foes pounded into a ballroom floor. A free and independent Temeria is no more. A dark-faced sun looms over her every rampart. Yet we Temerians live on, and always will, as long as folk believe the usurper who took our beloved capital, Vizima, to treat us his property, will forever peer over his shoulder in fear. For in the shadows lurks not one dagger, but the power of a nation of daggers, waiting to deal justice's blow. Okay, it's like the 3rd copy I have of this one. Emperors of the North, Novigrad. No one can claim to have traveled to the northern realms, who has not been to Novigrad. If I were forced to list what during my many meanderings has made the greatest impression on me, it would be precisely this great, and yet at the same time free, city. A metropolis worthy of the Empire. Its only flaw is that the civilization Nilfgaard carries within her has not yet enlightened it. That is why hordes of reactionary cultists of the Eternal Fire dwell in the midst of its excellent buildings and superb commercial infrastructure. One feels as though superstition is how the local hierarch and his temple guards cement their power over the city dwellers. And many they are to control, for the city counts no less than 30,000 of inhabitants. While strolling through its fabulous port, surrounded by marvels of architecture, it is hard to imagine that centuries ago Novigrad was a mere minor elven town-state. When the city fell into the hands of the Nordlings, its problems grew exponentially, for as is well known, the people of the North can do a great many things, but peaceful and orderly cohabitation is not one of them, and so Novigrad first belonged to Redania, and then fell under Temerian rule, until finally, after endless compromises and bargains, it at last became a free city. But is the city truly free? I dare to doubt it. Redanian influence makes itself felt too strongly on every street corner, and the fact that the city is located within Radabit's territory speaks for itself. While wandering the city's streets, I came across 4 watermills, 8 banks, and nearly 19 pawnshops. There are also a great many houses of simple pleasures, such as taverns and brothels, and Novigrad's commitment to matters of faith is borne witness by the fact that the city contains no less than, I kid you not, 19 temples to the Eternal Fire. One more can be said. I think Novigrad has all the makings of the capital of the world, and perhaps that is what it will one day become. First, however, someone needs to bring order to within her walls. And that should be it. Let's save the game, so that I don't have to read all of that again. I mean, I wouldn't have to read them.
How might I serve the gentleman?
By returning my things.
Citrus and cloves. The fragrance will keep the gentleman's robes fresh somewhat longer.
Thanks, bunches.
The Emperor is not known for his patience. He wants his daughter back safe and sound, as soon as possible.
Yeah, mentioned something of the sort. So long.
Alright, now I have to travel to Belém, so I'll save the game again. I know I saved it 20 seconds ago. But before we leave the castle, we have to find... Good. We have to find a nobleman, it could be this one, who will ask us to play a game of Gwent. Nilfgaardian nobleman. It could be this one. Yeah, okay, we have to win this and then we can leave the castle without any problem. We can save the game and that's it. The castle part is done, we don't have to come back to it. Every missable thing, we got it. Okay, betting. To place a bet, choose an amount using L and confirm it by pressing X. This amount will be added to the pot. If you win, you will get back twice as much, and obviously if you lose, you lose it. Okay, the thing is, like a month or two ago, maybe even, no, I think even more before, I started The Witcher and I played for an hour or 2 hours. And I played against the first merchant who explains you the rules. I don't remember them, you know, just so that we're clear. But I'm certainly not an expert, so just in case I lose and I have to play quite some times, I'll just bet one. Plus, I will count every loss here as a death, you know, which we have I think like 8 of or something so far. Pretty good considering we've defeated the Griffin and we're in the highest difficulty. Yeah, death. 8 deaths, okay. Okay. Yeah, 1.
Wouldn't mind a few rounds of cards.
Okay, Gwent tutorial. Yeah, I want to begin the Gwent tutorial. Okay, welcome to Gwent. Gwent is an ancient dwarven card game that simulates the clash of two armies in battle. The players are generals, and the cards are their forces. You will go first. Choose a card to redraw. Starting hand. To begin, you draw 10 cards. This will be your hand for the rest of the match. You will not draw any more cards, so use these carefully, wisely. Unit card strength. This is a unit card. The number in the upper left corner indicates its strength. When placed on the battlefield, this value is added to the total strength of the player who placed it. This is the unit's combat row icon. This icon indicates the row on the battlefield where the card can be played. Some unit cards have special abilities. This Guide Wenishich Expert's special ability is called Morale Boost, which grants +1 strength to all units in the same row. Weather cards. Weather cards are a type of special cards. They reduce the strength of all cards of a given type on the battlefield, including your own. Redraw. At the start of each game, you can select up to 2 cards to discard and redraw. But let's skip that for now and go straight to playing. Okay, round start. Battlefield. Here is the battlefield. This is your side. This is your opponent's side. During each turn, a player may place 1 card on the battlefield or pass. Each deck has a leader. The leader grants you a special ability which can be used only once during a battle. Trigger the special ability at any point by pressing square. Okay. Playing cards. Press X to select a card from your hand. Press X again to place it on the battlefield. Okay. What is its ability? Foltest, King of Temeria. It is natural and beautiful that a man should love his sister. Leader ability. Pick an impenetrable fog card from your deck and play it instantly. I don't think he means like platonic love, like the one a brother and sister should have, you know. I think he's talking about something different. Okay, let's use this one. Total strength. Okay, maybe I should move the camera. The number on the left by your icon shows the current total strength of your units. The number on the right shows the total strength for that row. Both values are updated when a card is played. At the end of a round, the player with the highest total strength wins. Passing. During your turn, you can pass by holding down triangle. Once you pass, you cannot play any more cards during that round. Your opponent can continue playing cards until he or she passes as well. You should pass when you are confident you can win with the units you already have in play, or to let your opponent win and save your cards for the next round. End of round. A round ends once both players have passed. The players then compare the total strength of their units to determine the winner. All cards on the battlefield are discarded and both players' total strength is reset to 0. Okay. Okay, so I have 10 cards, and I assume at the end of a turn you don't get them back. So we should be careful with that. I remember you didn't get them back, so let's use her and hopefully it will be enough. The enemy won't use more. Oh, that's a shame. But what does this do? Sets the strength of all siege combat. No, what about this? Tell me this is what I need. Full close combat cards to 1. Yeah, fantastic. Now, unless you want to waste them. Oh shit, okay. Do I want to use this now? You know what? I will. Right, maybe I should. I'm gonna use this one. And then I'm gonna pass. You know, let's hope for the draw. And if you win, you'll have less cards than me. 10! Well, it's easy, you know? Pass. You don't let me pass. Oh, I have to hold. Yeah, you win. It is when it's okay, because you've probably used your best card. You're still using cards. What? Why did he use one for my... Well, I don't know. Life gems. The player who loses a round and loses a life gem also loses a life gem. The game is over once a player has lost both life gems. Okay, he won the round, but he probably should have less cards than me. Why does he have more cards than me? 10! How, though? Oh, maybe because of its effect. I don't know what that card does. Well, he passed, so I'm going to use this too, and I'm going to be doing this one. What? Well, I don't think I'll win, because I only have 1 card left and he has 5 cards. Northern Realms function ability triggered. Oh, okay. Then maybe we have something here that we can do here. Let's see what you have, man. How do you have... I don't get it. It's crazy. How do you have a 10? I don't have any 10s. Settle... No, why would I use this? Well, I mean, I lost. But how... Okay, defeat. Pro tips. There is no shame in passing and letting your opponent win a round. It's what I did the first one. Sometimes it's better to save your cards for later. Each deck also features its own heroes. Heroes are high-value cards immune to the effects of special cards. These powerful cards can turn the tide of battle. So maybe those are the cards that had 10 that he used there? I didn't have them, I don't know why. Finding cards. Acquire more powerful cards by completing certain quests or purchasing them from vendors. Well, alright. Okay, well, that counts as a death, so 9 deaths so far. And I would love to defeat him right now, but we're gonna have to leave the stream here for today. We'll kick his ass tomorrow, don't worry about it.
One
But yeah.
false move and you will regret it.
What's your problem, man? I didn't do anything. Okay, nice stream today. We got to know a lot of lore. We played our first match of.
We will cross the Pontar as well.
Okay, good to know. We played our first match of Gwent this playthrough. Hopefully the only playthrough I have to do. It will be the only playthrough I have to do, because I won't miss any missable trophies. But yeah, it was nice.
A deserter from the Squire 10.
Could you shut up for a moment? I'm trying to speak. Yeah, it was nice. We got to see Yennefer again. Apparently, Geralt's been seeing trees for quite some time. I didn't know that. But yeah, I really want to buy the books and read them.
One false
But
move and you will regret it.
you already told me that. Until the next one, goodbye.